where am I then? So oftentimes I hear a lot of people say, I can't deal with this anymore. I mean, I've gotten it up to here. I don't know what else to say or what else to do to really get people to do exactly what I want. And this is really touching because for entrepreneurs, it's a back-breaking experience to set up a company, grow the company, and then establish some number of sales while also trying to put in money to pay staffers. So if you have a staff that is actually making your work horrible, I can imagine the feeling. And I share the same sentiments with you. It's not easy, and I know that something can be done to address this. So I decided to share with you all my few principles that I've used for some time now, and it has actually produced some reasonable results for me. Now, first thing, if somebody is not happy about something, it means that something is not done the way it ought to be done. And if that happens, it means that a number of people are not clear on what to do, or even if they are clear, they are not sure that there are consequences to them defining such actions. So policy number one, I make sure that I create very clear company traditions and policies. Now, this is what this will do for you. If people understand exactly what you stand for, what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate, it just keeps them in that mental readiness to do exactly what you want. That way, you're not just going to be running after them and talking to their minds and hoping that some way your word is just going to ignite some level of understanding in their hearts and they're going to do exactly what you want. Because it is different from giving them their job description. Most people will tell me, okay, what about the job description that I gave them? But yet, I still find it difficult to put this particular employee on check. Job description is not just all that will make a competent staffer stay on the right track. What about the dress code? What about the way they talk? What about their collaboration with one another? What about many other things that are things that you do not tolerate? If you do not impute all of this in your company traditions or policy, you're going to have a hard time. So to get you off this stress, please try to write down the things you do not like, from their dressing, their hairstyle, if you don't want them putting on rings, the kind of whatever it is that you think you're not going to tolerate or it's going to make life horrible for you, put it down. And I would just want to add this. It differs from company to company and individual to individual. It's just about your preference and what is going to make you mentally relaxed to make sure that you carry your company forward. The next thing that I do is that I make sure that during the onboarding process, I don't leave it up to them. Maybe you create these policy traditions and then you put it in their employee handbook. Sometimes they don't go through it. So during your process of onboarding, that is a big opportunity for you to make sure that you put them through what you stand for. So you tell them exactly what these company traditions are meant to do or what these company traditions are for. So please, during your onboarding process, make sure you go through your company traditions. Number three, state clearly, I'll repeat, state clearly the consequences if they don't do it at all. No, just imagine that people don't understand what they are going to suffer if they don't do what you ask them to do. You have to state clearly what the consequences are so that they can toe the line. Number four that I do, and it's been very helpful, make sure you have a very good HR, right? See, the HR, like I call it, is the heart of the company. It keeps the company alive, so it just knows what to do to make sure that the hands and eyes and legs of the body is moving, and it's the same thing for a company. So if you have some job-breaking things to do and you know that you might get into some confrontation, it is better that your HR does the job so you don't get into that confrontation with your staffers. Let the HR communicate with them. Regard the things that you've noticed that are not right, that you can't tolerate, that is out of the company traditions or policy. A good HR will get the work off your shoulders so that you can concentrate on building the company, building good strategies, and doing the things that will make your company improve. Another thing is avoid confrontation. That's the fifth thing. I try as much as possible not to get to a position or a point where I have to get into confrontations with my staffers, okay? Which means that I look at their moods, I look at every other thing that there is to check, and then I make my move. It's very important for you to know that every individual has his own good times and bad times. You need to set the record straight. The sixth thing that is very important is make sure you're disciplined about what you say and what you do. Now, these people observe the sea. If you say a thing and you don't stand by it, it might not produce any negative report as at then, but trust me, it's a psychological problem. It's just going to replicate the negativity of the actions later. So what am I saying? If you tell people that if they don't do a certain action, this is a consequence, stand by it, regardless of how you feel. Regardless if the person is your favorite worker or not, it doesn't matter. Stand by it. That way, it keeps everybody in check and the work moves smoothly. Now, the last thing that I do, this is personal though. You can choose to adopt it, you can choose not to adopt it. But for me, it really works. I also try to listen to the people that I think are not doing exactly what I want. I try to find out what exactly the problem is. For all you know, it might just not be a problem from the company. It could just be a personal challenge that they are dealing with and they don't know how to fix it. So if you have a listening ear and if you're keen enough, if you solve that problem, I'm sure the rest of the work is going to work. Remember, the rest of the expectation is going to work. Remember, when workers come into your company, when they work with you, they see it as a family, as a part of a unit. Now, their personal challenges, if you're not keen, if you don't think about their personal challenges, they're not going to put the same energy to your own work. So make sure that you are keen to noticing when they have a personal challenge that you can come in as a mentor or a friend. Thank you once more. This is just my little tips on how to make sure that your workers who are unruly get checked, or how to avoid, raising unruly workers. Thank you and see you soon. It's still Idea.